Every man carries within him a force far greater than he often realizes, a living current of energy that shapes his mind, his emotions, and his destiny. This force, often overlooked or carelessly spent, is sexual energy, the creative essence of life itself. In ancient traditions, this energy was known as vital force, chi, prana, or kundalini. In modern terms, it can be understood as the biological, psychological, and spiritual power that animates the masculine being. Semen retention is not merely an act of physical restraint. It is an acknowledgement of the sacred responsibility a man holds over his energetic state. This responsibility determines not only his personal growth and mental clarity, but also the quality of his relationships, his contribution to the world, and his alignment with his higher purpose. To take responsibility for your energetic state is to take responsibility for your life, your emotions, your thoughts, your output, and your impact on others. It means moving from being reactive and drained to being deliberate and empowered. Through semen retention, a man begins to master the inner currents that once mastered him. Energy is the invisible foundation of everything we do. Every action, thought, and word is an expression of our current energetic condition. When a man dissipates his sexual energy through constant indulgence or addiction to pleasure, he loses the very charge that animates his being. He becomes reactive, fatigued, and emotionally unstable. Responsibility begins when a man realizes that his inner state is not random, it is self-generated. He can no longer blame the world, women, or circumstances for his exhaustion or lack of direction. Instead, he must face the truth. His energy is his to manage. To be responsible for your energetic state means you no longer live as a victim of impulses. You observe them. You understand that your vitality is sacred currency, not to be wasted in moments of weakness. Every drop of energy conserved becomes light within your system, clarity of mind, strength of will, and depth of presence. Semen retention teaches a man to hold this energy, refine it, and direct it toward higher creation, art, purpose, mastery, and service. It is the shift from animalistic instinct to divine awareness. Our consciousness mirrors our energy. When sexual energy is scattered, so is the mind. Thoughts become restless, emotions volatile, and focus weak. But when energy is retained and transmuted, consciousness expands. Awareness sharpens. This is not mystical exaggeration. It is energetic law. Sexual energy fuels the brain, the nervous system, and the endocrine glands. When conserved, this energy nourishes higher centers of awareness. It awakens the intuition, strengthens emotional regulation, and deepens spiritual insight. Men who practice semen retention often report an increase in mental clarity, motivation, confidence, and creativity. This is because their energy no longer leaks through uncontrolled sexual indulgence. They have reclaimed the raw potential that once drove mindless pleasure and redirected it into creation and consciousness. Taking responsibility for your energetic state means understanding that how you feel, think, and act are all influenced by the quality of your retained energy. When your energy is pure and grounded, your mind follows. When your energy is polluted and fragmented, your perception of life becomes cloudy. Masculinity thrives on order, internal and external. A man's strength is not in domination, but in mastery, not in control over others, but in control over himself. Retaining semen cultivates this inner order by teaching self-discipline, patience, and self-control. Each time a man chooses not to indulge in fleeting pleasure, he affirms his capacity to lead himself. He becomes a man others can trust, a man whose word has weight because it is backed by energy integrity. Responsibility of energy means maintaining your inner structure. You do not allow your emotions to be dictated by circumstances. You regulate your mind, your breath, and your presence. You do not pour your energy into every attraction or impulse. You channel it with precision. Through semen retention, this discipline becomes effortless over time. The man who once chased satisfaction begins to embody stillness. His energy is contained, powerful, and magnetic. Others can feel it. In his eyes, his tone, his walk. He no longer seeks validation because he is validation in motion. This internal order radiates into every aspect of life: business, fitness, relationships, and spirituality. A man whose energy is ordered becomes a pillar of stability in a chaotic world. Every relationship is an exchange of energy. Whether it's friendship, family, or romance, each interaction either nourishes or drains. When a man takes responsibility for his energetic state, he becomes conscious of the kind of energy he gives and receives. In romantic and sexual relationships, this becomes especially vital. Semen retention allows a man to approach intimacy from a place of fullness, not desperation. He no longer seeks to take from a woman, but to share from abundance. When a man releases his energy unconsciously, he often feels depleted afterward because he has poured out his life force without awareness. But when he learns to retain and circulate it within, he experiences connection without loss. He gives emotionally and spiritually while maintaining his core vitality. This transforms his relationships. Instead of being dependent on pleasure, he becomes a presence that uplifts and stabilizes. His woman feels safe in his energy because it is grounded, not chaotic. His presence heals rather than consumes. A responsible man knows that his energy affects his partner's state. If he is anxious, she feels it. If he is focused, she relaxes. His leadership begins at the energetic level, through calm, purity, and purpose. Taking responsibility for your energetic state also means mastering your emotions. Many men believe that emotions happen to them, but in truth, emotions are energetic reactions shaped by awareness and regulation. When energy is low, emotions spiral. Lust, anger, jealousy, and anxiety thrive in depleted energy fields. But when energy is abundant and clean, through practices like semen retention, meditation, breathwork, and clean living, emotions stabilize. Energetic cleanliness means maintaining purity in what you consume. Not just food, but information, company, and thoughts. The man who takes responsibility for his energy guards his mind the way a warrior guards his sword. He does not feed it with lustful imagery, gossip, or negativity. Through semen retention, emotional awareness grows. Instead of suppressing emotion, the man feels it fully, transforms it, and integrates it. Lust becomes creative energy. Anger becomes drive. Sadness becomes compassion. This transmutation is the art of inner alchemy, the turning of base impulses into higher consciousness. Everything in the universe vibrates at a frequency, and our energy state determines the frequency we emit. When a man is depleted, his vibration is low. He attracts chaos, fatigue, and mediocrity. But when he practices semen retention and inner discipline, his vibration rises. He becomes magnetic, confident, and self-assured. This is why men who retain their energy naturally attract respect and attention. Their aura is dense with vitality. People feel drawn to them without knowing why. Their words carry power because they are backed by stored energy, not scattered desire. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and let's continue. Taking responsibility for your energetic state means becoming conscious of the frequency you emit. It is not about pretending to be positive, but embodying alignment so deeply that your energy speaks before your mouth does. This magnetism is not manipulation. It is authenticity. When your inner world is in harmony, your outer world mirrors it. Energy without direction leads to frustration. Retaining semen without purpose often creates tension or arrogance. But when a man directs his retained energy toward a mission, his craft, his spiritual growth, or his service, he finds fulfillment. Responsibility for your energy means asking, where am I channeling my power? Without purpose, energy stagnates. With purpose, it flows like a river carving valleys through mountains. A man who retains his energy must become a creator of art, ideas, systems, or transformation. Otherwise, the stored energy turns inward as restlessness. Purpose gives meaning to sacrifice. It transforms retention from mere abstinence into conscious creation. It aligns the masculine instinct to build, protect, and serve with divine intention. When your energy is dedicated to something larger than pleasure, It becomes sacred fuel for greatness. On a spiritual level, semen retention is a sacred covenant between the man and his higher self. It is the realization that sexual energy is divine energy, the very essence that gives life. When misused, it pulls you into lower consciousness. When mastered, it elevates you toward enlightenment. Ancient spiritual traditions understood this. Yogis practiced brahmacharya. Taoists cultivated Jing. Christian mystics spoke of chastity as a path to divine union. Each was pointing to the same truth. Responsibility over sexual energy is responsibility over the soul. When you conserve and refine your energy, you awaken latent spiritual potential. Intuition sharpens, inner peace deepens, and your connection to God, Source, or Spirit strengthens. You begin to see sexuality not as sin or indulgence, but as sacred power meant to be revered, not abused. A man who has mastered his energy becomes a vessel for divine work. His words heal, his touch uplifts, and his presence brings peace. He becomes a channel of higher consciousness in human form. In today's digital age, men face constant energetic assault. Pornography, overstimulation, processed food, social media, and dopamine addiction drain life force at alarming rates. We live in an era of energetic leakage. Men scroll endlessly, lust mindlessly, and live unconsciously. The result is widespread fatigue, depression, and loss of masculine direction. Most have no idea that the solution is not external, but energetic. To take responsibility for your energetic state today means reclaiming sovereignty over your attention. It means cutting off distractions, cleansing your mind, and guarding your sexual energy as if your life depends on it, because it does. Every time you release your energy to pixels, you reinforce weakness. Every time you retain it and channel into action, you build strength. The battle of modern man is energetic warfare against laziness, lust, and mental chaos. The man who wins this battle rules himself. The one who loses becomes ruled by the world. True leadership is energetic. People do not follow words, they follow vibration. When a man has taken full responsibility for his energetic state, he leads effortlessly. His calmness anchors others. His focus inspires. His integrity commands respect. He does not need to assert dominance. His presence speaks it. His life becomes a message, discipline, clarity, and divine direction. He embodies what he teaches, and his energy becomes contagious. To live as an energetic leader, you must commit daily to cleansing, cultivating, and directing your energy. This includes proper sleep, clean nutrition, breath work, prayer, sunlight, and meaningful work. Semen retention becomes the core of this discipline, the wellspring of power that fuels every other aspect of your being. When your sexual energy is mastered, every other energy aligns. Leadership is no longer about control, it is about coherence. A coherent man stabilizes the energy of every space he enters. Responsibility over your energetic state is not a one-time act. It is a lifelong practice. There will be moments of weakness, relapse, or imbalance. But each time you return to awareness, you strengthen your energetic integrity. The journey of semen retention teaches humility. It reveals that true power is not the absence of desire, but mastery over it. It shows that energy is sacred and that every action, thought, and emotion affects the entire field of your existence. Taking responsibility means no longer outsourcing your vitality to chance. You become the architect of your energy, designing your habits, protecting your environment, and nurturing your inner flame. Each day becomes a spiritual workout, a training in patience, focus, and grounded masculinity. Through consistent practice, your energy evolves from raw desire into divine expression. To take responsibility for your energetic state is to awaken as a man. It is to realize that every thought, every breath, every release of energy shapes the man you are becoming. Semen retention is not suppression. It is stewardship. It is the art of holding life's most potent energy and using it consciously. It is an act of self-love, self-respect, and service to the divine design within you. The man who masters his energy becomes unshakable. His presence inspires, his actions align, and his purpose unfolds effortlessly. He becomes a generator of light in a world addicted to depletion. Your energy is your responsibility. Guard it, grow it, and give it wisely. In doing so, you honor not just your masculinity, but the sacred essence of life itself. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this YouTube channel